Hi, I'm Neat,
I'm Rox.
and this is the Bourbon Barrel. And today we're going to do something kind of interesting that we're actually lucky we can do. When we started the show a year ago, almost, just about, the very first bottle we ever had and opened and tried on the show was the Evan Williams 1783. And what we did with that, we started out our show. We were new. We didn't have all the cool gizmos and gizmomadons, whatever you have. We didn't have a lot of
gizmomadon. What's that? Right.
But we didn't have a lot of experience in the bourbon show or even the bourbon arena, as far as what's good, what's bad. So we started low shelf. We started with something that was easily and readily available.
Yeah.
What we didn't know really at the time was that when we bought the bottle, not this exact bottle, but that exact bottle that is empty and
there's a little glass back here now.
A lot of
you can never hear this. When I do this, I never hear it on the thing
because it hurts their ears.
It hurts their ears. It should hurt your ears because you haven't subscribed yet. Subscribe and you won't have to hear this noise anymore.
Anyway, and we put the dimes in there for every subscriber, as you may know or may not know. But subscribe and we'll put a dime in there for you. And anyway,
do as you're told.
What we didn't know was that they had just recently transitioned to these types of bottles from these types of bottles. And Rox, he was very fortunate. He found in one of our local stores these right on the shelves, and they were different than these. And he did some research and figured out that these are the old bottles. And there's a pretty decent difference between them in the fact that these are 86 proof and these are 90 proof. So they actually went up in proof. And again, we were fortunate enough to have a store where these didn't sell through very fast, dust on the top kind of deal. So we were actually able to acquire these. And yeah.
Excuse me, guys. And ladies, by the way. The one thing I caught when I was doing some was some of the stuff I read in research or saw on shows was that every time they referred to this new bottle, the one that you can get now, they said it was Evan Williams returning it to 90 proof. And I looked up and I didn't dive so deep because I didn't think it was that important. I'd like to know when it was 90 and went to 86, because that probably means they, at some point, were like, just 86 that.
Yeah.
And they put it down to here. And this was this is good. I've had this bottle. I think you tasted this before. I think, if you talked about it, I'm not sure. But this was one of, it's Bourbon Night's original episode, first ever episode when they did it. This is one that won out of their 50 best under $25. She had a winner, and hers was this, and his was Jim Beam Choice, which they don't even make anymore.
Wow.
But it's this bottle. Anyway, I'd like to know that, when it went from, when they 86'd it and all that, I couldn't really find that. And we've also discussed the fact that this kind of builds into something we've been talking about, and he could probably talk more about to a degree also, about collecting stuff and how there's kind of a stigma about collecting. In a lot of groups and such.
So there's a lot of different groups online, Facebook, wherever you may be, that really harsh on, and we've discussed this a couple times before.
I'm gonna open stuff. How about that?
I like it.
Only on the first episode of the day, I'm gonna get on opening things. All right.
And essentially, the conclusion that a lot of people come to is that collecting and hoarding is wrong, and it's not something that we want for the economy.
We get that. I get it.
Now, my opinion on that is that it's not a bad thing for the hobby. If there's something out there that's rare and hard to find, and you find it, you're having a good day. And if there's something out there that people want, and you
to pour yourself,
love to pour, it's a good thing. But yeah, so if there's something that people want and you find it, you have it, you hold on to it. I have 2 Bookers on the shelf behind me, back there, behind the Colonel Taylor and the Maker's Mark.
I know I'm pointing in the right direction, but I'm making this stuff, so.
But yeah, they're not open. One of them is a repeat bottle. I bought one that we could enjoy, and it's open, and we have enjoyed it on the show. And the other one is one that I don't plan on opening.
The E.H. Taylor?
No, the
Books, right.
I just don't plan on opening it because they're so few and far between, and they're different releases. They have different names on them, little pieces of history. And so, as someone who likes to collect things, like we've gone through our D&D stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
How I collect those, the books and things like that are.
I still have some racing memorabilia, the driver's sign stuff or whatever. I don't know, but
it's part of the hobby, and I enjoy that. And
like I told you, these are still on shelves to this day. This one specifically,
yes,
which is weird because I always saw this one everywhere, and I always see this one everywhere, which is the 750 of it, the new one. I don't see the big one in many places, and I never have seen this one until I found it at a random store a little bit further away, as I told him, and it's still sitting. I hoard it. I grabbed 2 bottles, one so we could open it, one so I could just stick it away. There's still bottles sitting. I didn't grab them all and wait a week and say, now they're $1,000 if you want it. I have them all. Like, it's not about that. It's just like, I was telling him, it's kind of cool to just have something. Maybe in 5 years somebody really wants that, and I really want to try something they have. It's the same thing. They just happen to have a bottle of X, Y, or Z, whatever it is.
And so it works well for trading. It works well for, like, even let's say I have my job right now. I have these things. I buy them. I hold them. And 5 years from now, I lose my job. I can sell that for more than I got it. It's kind of like an investment. Yeah. Sure, a little bit. Like, I mean, there's things of Booker's from years ago that are worth several $1,000.
Booker's is batches. They do 3 year or 4 year.
3 or 4, I don't remember.
Yeah, because it gets confusing with the Elijah Craig barrel proof, the Larceny barrel proof. They're all like so many a year. So.
And so, I mean, honestly, like, it's nice to have that kind of, like, if you have a place where you can go to a secondary market with something you own, and you have 1 or 2 things that you might want to be able to unload, if you're able to do it legally, of course.
Right. Yeah, do it appropriately. Don't get in trouble. Don't be like, the Bourbon Barrel told us to.
I'm trying to sell some alcohol here. Like, no, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're saying. Like, you need liquor licenses and things like that. That's a different story altogether. But there's legal ways to sell collectibles.
Right, yes. I have something I'm not saying on purpose. I'll tell you later.
That's fair.
I don't want to out somebody else.
Fair enough. But yeah, and so...
Somebody who sends a bottle of mac and cheese in the box, too. This is the coolest guy I know. I'm not saying who he is.
That's fair. But it's really just like a thing that, like, it's so good for the hobby because when there's money injected into the hobby, that hobby carries on. Like, if distillers and even blenders and things are able to, like, if it's hard to come by their stuff because everyone loves it and everyone wants it, that's a good thing. They will continue to make it because they know everyone wants it and it's getting bought up. If for whatever reason people stop buying it, then they go out of business, all sorts of things happen. So I will always be of the opinion that collecting is good for the hobby to a degree. I'm not saying that someone who buys out like an entire store worth of, like, something super exotic and super rare, like a Colonel Taylor barrel proof, if they got 6 of them and they're somehow
allocated stuff,
they strike a deal with, like, the guy who owns the store and says, I'll buy him for, like, $100.
That's a dirty move by the store guy.
Yeah, that's not cool. And we don't have that here.
No,
which is really a nice thing. Like,
not the stores I own. We'll not do this anymore.
The stores we frequent, they're very cool people. They're very chill, and they're always like, hey, we can get you one of these maybe if things play out right. Like, if this guy doesn't
get on a list. That's about it. Like, for certain things.
And so we're able to get, like, a bottle, and that's cool and that's awesome. And then, like, if ever there's any extras, I get a phone call like, hey, this guy never came to pick us up. Do you want him? Like,
right. And I tend to get the same thing, but the people, because I'll go in and they'll be like, and I would just tell them the story. The lady walked over to me and waited till nobody else was around me and was like, hey, I have a bottle of X, Y, or Z. Do you want it? And I was very polite to her and told her, thank you so much, but I don't really need that bottle right now. And I know at some point I'll have another crack at that bottle, and I'm going on vacation soon, and he's having surgery. This is the last taping we're going to do for a couple weeks. True. What is that? That's penile reduction surgery you're having for that anaconda thing of yours?
Well, it's for my back problem.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you should be able to donate that to the Poorly Endowed Foundation somewhere, because that's ridiculous. I didn't even know that was surgery until you told me about
it. I didn't either until my doctor said something.
It's ridiculous. So anyway,
I'm gonna make a commercial out of it.
I'm telling you,
with like the nice, like, little upbeat music and the.
Sometimes you feel like a god, sometimes you don't. Like, I mean, just
we haven't had a drink yet.
Oh, I just sipped. I had to because I felt myself saying something I didn't want to say when I mentioned mac and cheese.
Understood.
I'm gonna save that box of mac and cheese forever, and hope maybe someday have him sign it if we ever meet him in person.
Perfect.
That's so awesome. The coolest guy.
That is perfect.
Nonetheless.
So yeah.
So this is the old one.
This is the old one.
Did
All
you
right.
want to? Okay, wait. Should we do 2 and 2 because we were battling? Like, should we just open this one and then we can go back and forth on our own? Like, you can and I can? Or no? If we're gonna battle old versus new?
Sure, man.
It
That's
would
what we're
work.
gonna do.
It would work better for me. If it doesn't work better that way for you and you want to use the same glass, do it your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
So I'm gonna open this one, the 1 liter one, because I have one more bottle of this. I do not have another bottle of this.
So this is thing closed.
Yeah, it's more for to show you guys.
This is the same exact stuff that's in here, just on a smaller scale. So it's.
Oh, I learned some stuff reading about. First off, 1783 is when Evan Williams opened his first distillery.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, the year and why that was. Like 1792 for Barton is the state thing.
Mhm.
That's what that was. They become part of the Union? Is it the Union?
Yes.
Okay. No, just still the plastic on there, you know?
So yeah, honest. So wait, did we start with the 90 proof from going to the 86?
Yeah, sure is. Sure are. Sure.
Whoops.
Whatever.
That's fine.
It's my fault.
Yeah, we did that. What up?
Right? It's 4 points.
It is.
You know?
Yeah, it's 2%, man.
And then, okay, so old on my right, new on. That's not right either. Old on my right,
Screwed it up.
new on my left.
There you go.
Here's this. Here's the top to it, but it still has some extra plastic, and I don't have a fingernail.
That's fine. I'll work on it.
You're usually the top popper
They
guy.
call me the top popper.
They do.
That's my name.
Until after the surgery.
And I'm gonna be the bottom popper.
I was waiting to tell that joke. I thought of that like during the week or something. I was like, I can't wait to tell him what kind of surgery he's having.
Lovely. Thank
So,
you. For that. All right. Well, with that note, also shout out.
Oh yeah, there you go. I was thinking, do we want to come up with a nickname for it? Like, because we call everybody like Clark Bar and Eating Rocks and
It's your call, man.
Fry Cook,
Fry cook.
because that's all I could think of that goes with the fry. A good friend of ours went down to Orlando recently with his family, took a vacation, brought us back a shot glass, said, "Here, you could use it on your thing and your show." And it's for it's from us, and it's the 50th anniversary of Hard Rock Cafe. They opened in '71. It's 21. Or it was
22, yeah.
when they bought it. This
Sure.
is the 50th anniversary glass.
Nice.
It's a really cool little glass. Thank you very much, Fry Cook.
Thank
You
you
are
much.
the man.
Very cool.
You're one of my favorite people to work with. So, and you're a good friend, Victor. So, it's awesome. Thank you very much, man. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, we're kind of messing around here, but so we also, as I told him, the reason I just opened this one, in case you guys noticed, and this one is open, is this one I've had for maybe 6 months, and yeah, it's really low as you can see. But I also told him, well, I'll buy this one so we have all the, sort of the bottles of the 1783 old and new, the bigger and smaller bottles. But also we could, at least if we feel like it, maybe even kill this and decide if we think there's an oxidation thing. Is there a different taste at all? Does it exist? From less than a year, getting down here, it's probably been down here for
Almost 6 months, maybe.
I don't think so.
Not even.
I think I've been sipping down this. This is one of my sippers at home. Like, I like to keep a 1783, like I like to keep an Elijah Craig, like I like to keep a Wild Turkey
You love a good
101.
Elijah Craig.
Just some of those baseline, you can kind of find them anywhere offerings. Another interesting point of that is, like, this is 1783, 90 proof. We've always liked it. It's about $20 a bottle. Man, when you get into those 90 proofs, we really like Blade and Bow is 90 proof, and we both like it a lot, but it's $50 to get the bottle. And so anyway.
So I'm gonna say something here. It may be controversial, but
Okay, wait, what did I say I have? This is the old. I haven't tasted the old. Did you taste the
I did.
old?
I did.
Did you taste the new first like I did?
I did.
Okay, so you caught up to me and now you're ahead of me. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I don't.
Please.
I don't taste the difference at all.
Really? Oh my
At
god.
all.
I'm so
Like,
excited.
it's the
Wow.
same stuff, man.
It smells the same too, because this is the
So,
first time nosing the old.
Now, to be fair, there is 2% difference in alcohol between the two of these,
Right. 4 proof.
and they went back in the alcohol content, and I'm not tasting a difference.
Not tasting much of a difference, but I feel like I liked the new one better than the old one. Oh.
That would make sense because we do like the higher proofs.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart at all. So that's kind of cool that they're giving you a little bit more bang for your buck in that 90 proof, and you can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, doing it like,
Yeah.
and I took a break there. I see where you're going too. I would be if we were to blind these and do this.
There's no way.
It's a total guess.
There's no way.
All it is a guess. It's like I still don't know which one I'd pick because I'd be like, well, if I kept sipping this back and forth for the next hour,
there's no way.
Every other time, I'd be like,
I'm glad that it works out that way, at least for me, because there's no like. First of all, you can't find both of these anywhere. You can only find this one most places. And the fact that their process has such consistency, even when they're upping the proof. So basically, what they've done here is they've taken it out of the barrel and just proofed it down to this. So instead of proofing it down to the 86, they proofed it down to 90.
Right.
Which, you know, that's less water in there, and there's still not a big difference. So
here's something I thought it might have been like a find. Like I came up with something, or not I came up with, but I found something that maybe I've never heard before. I watch a lot of shows, but to me it interested me a lot.
Sure.
So first off, let's point this out. Small batch is on their website or whatever as small batch 1783 is less than 200 to 300 barrels. I saw one thing that said less than 200 barrels. I saw another thing that said less than 300 barrels. Some of the flavors they get are sauteed butter. I always write things down I never heard before when people are coming up with different ways. Off, dry, and regal finish.
Who's drinking sauteed butter?
I don't know, and I don't know about the regal finish either.
If you're drinking sauteed butter,
off dry mean wet?
I'm assuming it's like a wine term, like wineries and stuff, like dry wines and things, like off dry, like it's semi-sweet and then off dry.
And the 86 thing, did we say that when we were on the show, or did we say it before we started taping?
We've said it before in other shows.
Right, but I mean, did they 86 this way back when at one point? Because it says it was originally 90 and they returned to 90 when they brought this in and got rid of this, meaning originally it was 90. Somewhere there's older models, you know what I mean? And not over there. Anyway, maybe over there, you don't know. That'd be awesome if you had some dusty ass shit from like the 70s and you were like, look at this, and like, but anyway.
No.
I wonder if this was a product of 86ing it. Like they were just like the 90 they had wasn't selling. And they were like, 86 it, just 86 it, and you get these. And then they liked these.
Yeah, and so people they brought it back, and they're like, all right, well, let's bring it back. Maybe it'll go.
Here's the big reveal thing that I'm confused about. So the next thing we're doing is Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig episode. Between the rye, because we just got the rye, and Elijah Craig small batch. And Elijah Craig and Evan Williams, everything with Evan Williams, is Heaven Hill. It's all the same company, right? Okay, so I looked up all the mash bills because I wanted to know for the Elijah Craig thing, the rye and the small batch. So Elijah Craig's small batch mash bill from Heaven Hill. 78% corn, 12% malted barley, that's the flavor grain, and then 10% rye. In regular Elijah Craig, right? Okay.
Sure.
So I looked up the 1783 from Heaven Hill at 90 proof, Elijah Craig's 94 proof. 78% corn, 12% malted barley, 10% rye. It's the exact same mash bill as Elijah Craig small batch from the exact same distillery.
Dude,
it makes Elijah Craig small batch.
But it's a different proof, right? It's
4 points.
94, which is the difference here.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So this versus that goes to 94, and this bottle, which is the most common, most of the 750s, you don't see as many in buyers.
Yeah.
This is $20. The Elijah Craig 750 is about 26.
Sure.
So you got 4 points for about $6.
That's nuts, though, because I really enjoyed it.
So they just watered this down a little bit more.
And called it a letdown.
And got it a little, and that's what. See, I thought I never heard it on a show, and
it's nuts, dude. Well done.
I have
10 points for Gryffindor.
Yeah, because we know he's Slytherin. He won't be next week when they take that thing off. But, I had that ready though.
Oh yeah, you did.
I don't even remember the other houses. There's Hufflepuff.
Yeah, there you go. Now there's only
Gryffindor,
one more.
Slytherin, and
Ravenclaw.
Oh yeah, all right. I would have probably gotten there too. I really would have.
I believe you.
So.
But I didn't want all that dead air.
Somewhere it says these ones are aged 6 to 8 years on average.
Okay.
For the 1783. I got some other stuff about the Elijah Craig rye that we're not doing.
So, you mentioned that there's roughly 300 barrels per small batch.
200 or 300, one of the other.
So, let's say it's 300 barrels per small batch. That's roughly 100 bottles per barrel.
Okay.
That's like 3,000 barrels, or 3,000 bottles per small batch, which isn't a lot if you think about it.
Like, I want to try something else. You want to try it with me?
Yeah, man.
Let's try this old ass bottle, right? It's old ass. I probably bought this 6 months ago. Not even.
and opened it.
And I said, I don't think we've had this bottle on the episode. We might have. I don't know. I'd have to look back through.
Such is the problem when you've uploaded like 70 plus videos.
Just kill it. Let's have a bottle kill on the show. You don't have to drink it all. You could like just say the bottle's dead. You know what? That's really not. See, I put a decent amount of mine.
We have killed the bottle.
Yeah,
on the show. First one.
Bottle kill.
First one and first bottle we ever had.
Right?
There you go.
We're not gonna save this one.
No.
You know what I mean? But
it's our first bottle kill on the show, though.
It is.
We've murdered it.
And it's still truly one of my favorite sippers. You know what I mean? It's $20 and it's great
for the price point. It's not a bad experience.
No, it's. And I'm always the price point guy.
And
established
after a year or so, it's not my favorite thing, but it's still not bad.
Oh, it's not my favorite thing either. Right. But if you go 25 and under,
sure,
it's gonna rock right in there.
It's gonna be in the top 4, top 3.
So the point of this would be finishing this, but also having. I'm gonna put it up against the one we just opened. See if I taste any difference at all.
Because I still have some sort of
the oxidation process, if there even is any in that small amount of time. Anyway, so you can talk now.
So there I was.
I have nothing interesting to say anymore.
It's stuff.
Are you hot?
I'm always hot
here. Well, obviously. Are you temperature warm? Do you feel as though maybe you have a fever?
I got a fever. The only cure is more cowbell.
You should talk to the people who are getting you ready for the surgery like that. Like as soon as they give you.
Oh, I've already got it planned. When they put me out, I'm like, so while I'm out, does anyone want anything?
Yeah. That's good. I never thought of that. I had surgeries. I've never thought of that at all. Oh God. All I know is surgery. I mean, I've had surgeries. I don't really mind this, that, and the other. But
okay.
It's.
So I've tasted them.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Do you find any difference?
It's subtle.
It's subtle?
It's subtle, but there's a little bit more smoothness to the one that was open.
So the air maybe getting to it, opening it up,
a little bit. It's a lot less harsh on the tongue.
Now we're back. Now we're on same proof. This is the same new 90
yep.
from new bottle and the dead bottle. The dead bottle. That's kind of cool. I like that. Anyway.
But yeah, no, it's really not that. It's not a big difference, but it's just enough where you're like, oh. If you have a new bottle and old, you're not going to notice that difference through the course of that bottle. Like if you've been drinking that bottle all along,
right?
But honestly, there's really not a big difference. But it's a little bit of difference if you were to ever open a brand new bottle and try it against it. It's a very subtle, small change. Yeah,
I almost feel exactly the same way. And I maybe you influenced me, maybe you didn't, even not meaning to, but like this one went down easier than that one did. But just by the
ever so
hair of a nutsack. Just
wow.
You should talk in Christopher Walken's voice.
Oh wow.
You should do it. No, you should do it right before the surgery, before they even give you anything. And they'll be like, you haven't even had anything. And you're like, I know.
I know. Well, I'm out. Can I get you anything?
Right? That is so fun. Oh my God.
But so overall, this is like kind of like our 1-year anniversary episode because this was the first bottle we ever tried.
Retrospective. We're gonna do an Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig was on our first episode too. And
yep.
We got some other stuff. I mean,
So you'll be seeing these somewhere around beginning of September, if you're watching us.
Yeah. And you should be.
Do it.
Yes, he's doing it. You know you want to do it. Everybody's doing it.
And our first episodes are actually well over the 100+ views. So
yeah, the first episode's still the most. We did like 500, 600.
Excellent.
Cool. We have fun. I love it.
It's good time.
It's so much fun. I love doing this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard. I mean, he's got jobs, and I've got kids,
children,
wives, vacations, surgeries. Like it's not always the easiest, but it's so much fun.
It's a good time to get together. So let that be a lesson to you. Enjoy life and do the things you want to do because it's already been a year, which I can't believe. And
to be fair, it's August something right now, right? What's the hell's the date today? It's 12th or 15th or something.
14th.
That's cool.
It's basically a month out from being a year.
Right.
So I mean, we've been doing this for damn near a year.
Yeah.
And it's one of the more fun things that I look forward to every week that we get to do. And 100%. We don't even get to do it every week. So
no.
But yeah, thanks to video editing, you'll never know that.
Yeah. We go live, you'll understand things better. But
With that, any further Evan Williams?
no, I don't have any more tidbits or anything. No. I was just kind of glanced as I jot down odd notes here and there. So
Let your bourbons air out. Don't forget to wet your corks.
yeah,
And
yeah.
with that, thank you so much for being here for a year.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Meat.
I'm Rox.
And this has been
The
Bourbon Barrel.